Mute swan, a graceful white swan with an orange beak and a quiet, elegant presence. Known for the distinctive S-shaped curve of its neck, the mute swan is a symbol of beauty and tranquility found on lakes and ponds across Europe and Asia, and introduced in North America. Despite its name, it is not truly mute. It communicates through a variety of soft hisses, grunts, and whistles, though it is less vocal than other swan species. The prominent black knob at the base of its orange bill, larger in males, is a key identifying feature. These swans are fiercely territorial, especially during the nesting season, and will aggressively defend their young, known as cygnets, from perceived threats. Cygnets are typically born with either gray or white downy feathers, gradually molting into their iconic pure white plumage as they mature over their first year. The mute swan's elegance extends to its flight, where the powerful, rhythmic beating of its wings produces a unique singing or humming sound that can be heard from a distance, a characteristic that has enchanted observers for centuries. They are primarily herbivores, their diet consisting of aquatic vegetation, which they reach by appending in the water, their long necks allowing them to forage on submerged plants, grasses, and grains. Trumpeter swan, the largest swan, known for its loud, trumpet-like call and pure white feathers. As the heaviest native waterfowl in North America, the trumpeter swan is a magnificent sight, with an impressive wingspan that can exceed 10 feet. Its name is derived from its deep, sonorous, bugle-like call, which resonates across its wetland habitats. Unlike the mute swan, the trumpeter has an entirely black bill, creating a stark, clean contrast against its pristine white feathers. These majestic birds were once hunted to the brink of extinction for their feathers and skins, but thanks to extensive conservation efforts, their populations have made a remarkable recovery. They form strong, lifelong monogamous bonds, and pairs work together to build large nests near the water's edge, often using the same site for multiple years. Their diet is similar to other swans, consisting mainly of aquatic plants, tubers, and stems, which they dig from the muddy bottoms of lakes and rivers. In winter, they may also feed on leftover grains in agricultural fields. The sight of a trumpeter swan taking flight is a powerful spectacle, requiring a running start across the water's surface before its massive wings can lift its heavy body into the air. Whooper swan, a snowy white swan with a long neck and a bright yellow and black beak. The whooper swan is a large, migratory bird that breeds in the subarctic regions of Eurasia and winters in more temperate areas of Europe and Asia. Its most distinguishing feature is its bill, which has a large, wedge-shaped patch of bright yellow that extends down from the base, ending in a black tip. This vibrant coloration makes it easily distinguishable from the similar-looking Bewick swan, which has a smaller, more rounded yellow patch. Its name comes from its loud, whooping, and clanging call, often made in flight, which creates a musical chorus when flocks travel together. Whooper swans hold their necks straight, rather than in the S-curve typical of the mute swan, both in the water and in flight, giving them a more angular and alert posture. They are highly social birds, especially during the winter months, when they gather in large, noisy flocks at feeding grounds. Like other swans, they are monogamous and share parental duties, with both male and female incubating the eggs and caring for the cygnets, which are typically light gray, and achieve their white adult plumage after their first year. Tundra swan, a slim white swan that migrates long distances and has a soft, gentle call. The tundra swan, as its name suggests, breeds in the remote Arctic and subarctic tundra regions of North America and Eurasia. It is a hardy bird, undertaking one of the longest migrations of any swan species, traveling thousands of miles to its wintering grounds in warmer coastal areas. There are two main subspecies, the whistling swan of North America and the Bewick swan of Eurasia. These swans are characterized by their sleek build, pure white plumage, and a black bill that typically features a small yellow spot of varying size near the eye. Their call is a high-pitched, mellow bugling, often described as a woo-woo sound, which is softer and more melodic than the calls of the trumpeter or whooper swans. Tundra swans feed primarily on the roots and stems of aquatic plants in their breeding grounds. While on their wintering grounds, they often supplement their diet with waste grains found in agricultural fields. They fly in V formations during their long migratory journeys, a behavior that helps conserve energy and allows for communication within the flock. Black swan, a beautiful black-feathered swan with a striking red beak, native to Australia. The black swan upends traditional imagery with its almost entirely black plumage, which is often ruffled to reveal white flight feathers on the edges of its wings, most visible when it is in the air. Native to the wetlands of southern Australia, This swan possesses the longest neck relative to its body size of any swan species, which it often holds in a graceful and distinct S shape. Its bill is a vibrant, bright red, accented by a pale bar at the tip, creating a dramatic contrast with its dark feathers. Black swans are highly nomadic, their movements dictated by rainfall and the availability of water, and they can be found in large flocks, sometimes numbering in the thousands. They are generally less territorial than mute swans and exhibit complex social behaviors. Uniquely among swans, both the male and female share incubation duties, with the male taking his turn on the nest. Their call is a musical, far-reaching bugle, which they use to communicate across long distances. The discovery of the black swan by European explorers was a major surprise, as it defied the long-held belief that all swans were white, and the term black swan has since become a metaphor for an unexpected and impactful event. Black-necked swan, a white-bodied swan with a shiny black neck and a red knob above the beak. This visually stunning species is native to the freshwater lakes, lagoons, and coastal swamps of southern South America. The black-necked swan presents a striking and unforgettable contrast. With a pure white body and a velvety black head and neck, a thin white line runs from the base of the bill back around the eye, further accentuating its unique appearance. This swan is the smallest member of the cygnet genus. A fascinating and endearing behavior of this species is that the cygnets often ride on the backs of their parents, nestled between their wings for warmth and protection from predators. This practice is more common in black-necked swans than in any other swan species. They are relatively quiet birds, communicating with soft, whistling calls. Their diet consists primarily of aquatic vegetation, such as algae and weeds, which they filter from the water. Though strong flyers, they spend much of their time on the water, moving with a distinct elegance that showcases their remarkable black and white patterning. Coscoroba Swan, a smaller swan with white feathers and a vivid red beak and legs, hailing from South America. The Coscoroba Swan is an unusual species that shares traits with both swans and ducks, leading to some debate about its true classification. Although it is named a swan and possesses an all-white plumage similar to many northern hemisphere swans, it is smaller and has a more duck-like appearance. The Coscoroba Swan is named for its call, a loud, ringing cos-core-000, which is quite different from the calls of other swans. They inhabit shallow wetlands, lagoons, and swamps, where they feed by dabbling at the surface like ducks, as well as upending to reach submerged vegetation. The cygnets are not a uniform gray, but instead have a mottled brown and white pattern. Like the black-necked swan, Coscoroba parents are also known to carry their young on their backs, providing a safe and warm mode of transportation across the water. Whistling swan, a type of tundra swan known for its whistling wing sounds during flight. The whistling swan is the North American subspecies of the tundra swan, named not for its vocal call, but for the distinct, high-pitched whistling sound produced by the rapid beating of its wings during flight. This sound is a characteristic feature of migrating flocks. Visually, the whistling swan is a pristine white bird with a black bill, often featuring a small teardrop-shaped yellow spot in front of the eye, although the size of this spot can vary greatly and may be absent altogether in some individuals. They breed in the Arctic tundra and undertake long-distance migrations to wintering grounds in the United States, particularly along the Atlantic and Pacific coasts and in inland agricultural areas. Their vocalization is a high-pitched, melodious woo-hoo-woo, which is softer and more musical than the loud bugling of the Trumpeter Swan, a species with which it is often confused. Distinguishing between the two can be challenging, but the whistling swan is smaller and has a more concave bill profile, compared to the larger Trumpeter Swan's straight, wedge-shaped bill. During winter, they form large, gregarious flocks, feeding on aquatic plants and waste grain in fields. Bewick swan, a small, delicate swan with a short bill and soft yellow markings. The Bewick swan is the Eurasian subspecies of the tundra swan, named after the British naturalist and engraver Thomas Bewick. It is the smallest swan species found in the northern hemisphere, giving it a more delicate and compact appearance compared to its larger relatives. This yellow patch is generally smaller and less extensive than the wedge-shaped yellow on the bill of the whooper swan, a crucial detail for birdwatchers distinguishing between the two species during winter. Their call is a soft, musical bugling, similar to that of the whistling swan. Like other swans, they form long-term pair bonds and are dedicated parents. An interesting area of research involves the individual bill patterns of Bewick swans. Scientists have discovered that the unique yellow and black markings on each swan's bill are as distinct as human fingerprints, allowing for the identification and tracking of individual birds throughout their lives. Polish swan, a rare mute swan variety with pure white down, even as a cygnet baby swan. The most defining characteristic of this variety appears at birth. Whereas typical mute swan cygnets are born with grayish-brown downy feathers, the cygnets of the Polish swan are pure white. This leucistic trait, which causes a reduction in pigmentation, also affects their leg color. While standard mute swans have black legs and feet throughout their lives, Polish swans have pale pinkish-gray legs, a feature that persists into adulthood. As adults, they are visually identical to other mute swans, with the same elegant white plumage, orange bill, and black basal knob. The name Polish swan is believed to have originated in the 17th century, when these birds were imported to London from the Polish coast for trade, and they were mistakenly thought to be a distinct species from Poland. Because the gene for this trait is recessive, Polish swans remain relatively rare within the mute swan population. Finding a brood of all-white cygnets with pale legs is a special discovery, revealing the hidden genetic diversity within this well-known and beloved swan species.